Good morning, teachers and fellow students. Our group will analyse how Yeats's poems, When You're Old, An Irish Airman Foresees His Death, and Among School Children adhere to the Module B rubric, which will be highlighted consistently throughout our presentation. Let's begin with When You're Old.
So, When You're Old, composed by William Butler Yeats in October 1891, highlights the reflective nature of Yeats during his uncertain relationship with Maud Gonne, an Anglo-Irish revolutionary, feminist, and actress. This poem is based on a sonnet by Pierre de Ronsard, which first appeared in the second Livre de Sonnets for Italiana.
Yep, so in summary, the poem addresses Maud Gonne as his beloved, describing she would read a book and that reminds her of her own youth, and that she will remember her love life and the ones that beloved her and the grace and beauty. And the one man, of course, himself, whose soul was unconditionally given to him, and that love that didn't wither, from Yeats to Maud Gonne. And in the poem, she is reminded of Yeats and regret the opportunity that she had of experiencing the love that Yeats had for her.
So, for textual analysis of When You're Old, Yeats expresses his unconditional love and infatuation of Maud Gonne through the theme of old age, as he depicts Maud as an old woman, and reminiscing of his love life and how Maud has missed her chance towards true love. This is shown through the structure of the poem, which is written in iambic pentameter, which is a steady rhythm, where the slow pace contributes to the theme of old age. When you are old and grey and full of sleep, where Yeats connotates death and a period of reflection for both himself and Maud, highlighting the mortality of humanity and the limited time an individual has. This is further augmented to the physical descriptions of the old lady sitting by the fire, and dream of the soft look your eyes once had once, and of their shadows deep, where he creates a subtle imagery of a sleepy old woman. And loved your beauty with false love or true, where Yeats augments towards the idea of his absolute love, which is further shown through how love fled and paced through the mountains overhead, where Yeats personifies love through the use of a capital letter, perhaps indicating love as a person, subjectifying it in order to express his unequivocal love for Maud.
Yeah. Now, when we relate this to the rubric in terms of looking at the poem in light of another perspective, Sandra Bernard, a literary critic, says that the evocation of nostalgia makes it romantic in character. Now, this transforms the way that we as responders view the text as something that's romantic, and we appreciate, I guess, the elements of Yeats's emotion portrayed within the text, within his poem. In addition, when we use contexts that influence the text, we are particularly drawing upon his ambivalence. There's a few words that you can use as synonyms if you want to change things up. Now, one of the quotes, one of the lines that he starts with was, "When you're old and grey and full of sleep, nodding by the fire." There's a few words here that have some, I guess, contrasting connotations to what he would be saying throughout all his poems of mortality and a loss of love. For example, the words fire and sleep perhaps suggest some comfort in warmth and in dreaming and relaxation. But given the context of himself and the context of his own poems, we understand this to mean not comfort, but rather death and coming closer to an end in his own life and in his opportunities with Maud Gonne.
An Irish Airman Foresees His Death. Written in 1919, the poem was a requiem for his friend, Major Robert Gregory, the son of Lady Gregory. Yeats and Lady Gregory were close friends, and Yeats had often visited her place in Coole Park. The dramatic monologue was written in the perspective of Yeats about how Major Gregory felt, a pilot who enlisted in the British Army during World War I. However, ultimately, Gregory was killed in flight whilst flying over Italy.
So, through textual analysis, the poem utilizes in various language forms. The iambic tetrameter poem and the rhythm of A-B every 4 lines personifies to that of a clock. The irregularity of the beats and its ballads imitates a certain fate of doom that awaits Major Gregory. To quote, "My country is Kiltartan's cross, my countrymen Kiltartan's poor, it will likely end to bring them loss or leave them happier than before." This is symbolic of the home of Lady Gregory at Cool Park, and the reposition of Kiltartan shows how Major Gregory feels no more Kiltartan than Irish. "Those that I fight I do not hate, those that I guard I do not love." Illuminates the elusive meaning of conscription. In the first line, it implicates that Ireland felt no feelings against World War II, against the Germans, and likewise no feelings for Britain, a country who had oppressed Ireland from time immemorial.
The neutrality of his feelings gives a lonely impulse of delight, as he is fighting for himself and is aware of the consequences that may occur during this time of conflict. The years to come seemed a waste of breath years behind, in balance with this life, this death. Ending with a sense of fulfillment and contrastingly may highlight despair and regret as he is leading towards his doom. Rubric annotation. The poem can be inextricably linked to the rubric, as highlighted in the beginning, its textual integrity, that is its unity of a text to produce value and shape meaning, can be seen throughout the context of the poem and the way it is written and arranged. Additionally, one's perspective may be challenged or reinforced in the light of other external perceptions, as highlighted in Isaac's opinion. Although the airman fights on the side of the British, he asserts himself as an Irishman, specifically from a region with a distinctive history and dialect. The repetition of my country shows how patriotic he is. The perspectives on the poem may form new values, as highlighted with Isaac's opinion, showing the patriotism of Major Gregory fighting for the British. This challenges the audience and refines their understanding of what the poem means to society, taking it as either a fulfilling one or one with regret. Among school children. Written when he was 63 years old, Yeats reflects on the attitudes and perspectives on living life among the young, personifying various places and events, such as a classroom, that metaphorically represent the source of knowledge and challenges this idea that knowledge is not confined in a classroom within itself, but through one's experiences with what they may discover and encounter in life. Furthermore, he experiences instances of affection towards Maud Gonne, as highlighted in his thoughts as he wanders around the classroom and comparing her to the young and innocent children seen around him, and that his child he was.
The poem utilizes in ottava rima 8 lines, 8 stanzas, using a regular beat and rhythm of A-B, C, C. This form is usually used in epic poetry or to glorify a person of heroic feats. Thus, this poem shows an intimate epic reflection. It begins with a cheerful tone. The children learn to cipher and sing, demonstrating life's true lessons do not come from a classroom. The 60-year-old smiling public man shows a vivid imagery on the realization of life's fleeting nature,